Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Just 8 days out from the election, the U.S. Senate is set to hold the final vote today to confirm Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. How soon she could be sworn in, coming up.
As mail-in ballots continue to trickle in from Kern County voters, for the first time, we're getting a look at how those votes break down by political party.
Plus, a wild weekend in the World Series puts pressure on the Dodgers after a heartbreaking loss Saturday. They took the lead last night. A look at the final showdown. This is Monday, October 26, 2020. Good morning, it's 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen here alongside Alex Fisher, and a beautiful fall weekend. I kept checking the forecast over and over again yesterday, though, because I was really expecting to see some showers. It's like, gosh, those clouds, they look like they have something in them for us, but nothing.
I felt like I was at the coast, especially on Sunday. It was a beautiful fall weekend. Will those temperatures and the weather continue? Let's turn things over to Kevin Charette, who has a look at our forecast for this new work week. Good morning, Kev.
Good morning. Yeah, it is going to be very fall-like for today, especially into the mountains with windy weather and cooler temperatures. This morning, not a bad morning. We've got some clouds around Kern County, currently 57 degrees in Bakersfield, a northwest wind at 8 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the satellite and radar, you can see here some of these clouds still lingering around the area. And as we take a look at the hour by hour, we'll start out with a little bit of cloud cover rising into the 60s as we progress into the afternoon today. 39 degrees into Hatchby, a southeast wind at 10, a few clouds this morning as well. And then we also have a high fire situation here. Fire weather warning is in place. This will expire Tuesday at 5 p.m. So it's because of these winds, the offshore winds that we're seeing, very dry atmosphere out there. And as we take a look at the hour by hour for you today, it is going to be a relatively cool day. By 3 o'clock, right near 54 degrees. I'll have much more in your forecast. That's coming your way in just a few minutes.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. New this morning, a car chase ends with 2 women being arrested in southwest Bakersfield. It started just after 9:15 last night on T Street, just east of Lowell Park in central Bakersfield. Police say an officer saw someone shooting from a car on T Street. The officer attempted to pull the car over, but the driver took off. Police say the chase eventually ended on Stockdale Highway and Village Lane near the In-N-Out Burger. A woman got out and ran off, while another woman stayed inside the car. The woman who got away was eventually found. Both women were taken into custody, but police have not released their names.
Friends and family of a boy who died in a motorcycle crash last week gathered to honor his memory. 12-year-old Bruce Cross died in the crash Wednesday on Kern River Road in front of Hillcrest Memorial Park. A 51-year-old man driving the motorcycle was hospitalized with moderate injuries. Saturday, a vigil was held at Hillcrest Memorial Park in honor of Cross.
Tonight we asked the community to come out and just celebrate his life, and we're also asking for donations as well to bury him. I know that times are really hard, but we ask that if you have anything to give, please donate to Hillcrest Cemetery.
If you'd like to help out the family, donations can be made directly to Hillcrest Mortuary.
Your time now is 5:04. Now to the latest on the coronavirus here in Kern County. With 68 new cases announced yesterday, our weekly average is about the same as it was in late May. So far, 416 lives have been lost to this virus here in Kern County. There are more than 10,000 people recovering from the virus at home. However, the number of hospitalizations continues to fall. According to Public Health, 14 people are in the hospital and receiving treatment. We haven't seen our hospitalizations that low since late March. In total, more than 33,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19 here locally. And just a reminder, there are a few ways you can schedule a free coronavirus test. Our health officials continue to remind us that everyone should get tested, even if you're not showing symptoms of coronavirus. If more people get tested, our county's positivity rate declines and allows us to move into less restrictive tiers. You can make an appointment on the website doineedacovid19test.com or go to the county's website, kerncounty.com. You can also call 211 to schedule an appointment. The next free testing site is tomorrow at Greenfield Community School.
5:05 is your time now. Bakersfield police held another operation over the weekend to crack down on illegal street racing. The operation was held between 9 p.m. Saturday and 2:30 a.m. Sunday. 3 people were arrested. 1 was arrested for DUI, another for making criminal threats, and a third for having an outstanding misdemeanor warrant. In addition, 15 drivers were cited and 5 vehicles impounded as part of the operation.
Demonstrators descended on downtown Bakersfield to rally against abortion. The demonstration took place yesterday afternoon, starting at 23rd Street and ending near L Street. The demonstrators say this life chain has taken place annually for several years. Senior co-pastor of Valley Baptist Church, Phil Neighbors, said the goal is to get others to consider a pro-life viewpoint.
Our message is that every life is valuable, every life is sacred, including the life of the unborn, and that abortion is wrong and there's alternatives.
According to one demonstrator, this year's event saw fewer participants due to the pandemic.
Education news. Today is the last chance to nominate Cal State Bakersfield alumni for the university's Hall of Fame. This is CSUB's 15th year honoring the best of Cal State. The Hall of Fame recognizes and celebrates alumni who are doing extraordinary work in their career fields. If you'd like to nominate someone who makes our community better, go to csub.edu/alumni. Again, the deadline for submissions is today.
5:06 now, and in sports news, the Dodgers back with a vengeance in Game 5 of the World Series. Game 4 was a heartbreak loss for Los Angeles fans. The Dodgers blew their lead after making 2 errors on a base hit in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs Saturday night. But yesterday, LA came back to beat Tampa 4-2. The Dodgers now lead the World Series. There's no game tonight, but they'll have a chance to win it all on Tuesday. And if they win, it will be the first time the Dodgers have won the World Series since 1988.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back in your 17 Business Watch. More Americans plan to buy the new iPhone compared to last year. According to Wallet Hub's new 2020 iPhone survey, 44% more Americans plan to get the iPhone 12. The latest version officially went on sale on Friday, and according to the survey, about 73% more people think this new iPhone is worth going into debt compared to last year, primarily because the phones are 5G capable. The holiday shopping rush is already underway. Retailers hoping consumers scoop up the season's hottest items, but coronavirus has had an impact on the supply chain, making some items more difficult to find. Experts say refurbished items may fill that gap. NBC's Dan Shinneman explains.
It wasn't long ago that refurbished or open box items got a bad rap for being shoddy, second-hand items.
The bar is actually much higher for refurbishing than it is for manufacturing.
Sender Shamas is the CEO of Go Trg, a reverse logistics company that provides retailers and manufacturers a streamlined process for returned or damaged inventory. Refurbished can mean a product that was either broken or roughed up a little, but it could also mean an item someone decided they didn't want anymore.
And we handle thousands of vendors and manufacturers and distributors.
Go Trg processes over 1 million items each week.
People think that what's bought in a store or online usually ends up back on the shelf, and that's the furthest thing away from the truth.
Once returns hit the warehouse, turnaround time is pretty quick.
Approximately 7 days to process these goods. We've done it in as little as 3 days.
Like new items are then made available on the secondary market.
So we have brands like VIP Outlet, thestore.com. There's wholesale brands like directliquidation.com, but we sell a lot on eBay, Amazon, Walmart Marketplace.
Buying a refurbished product can save money compared to buying it new.
Consumers are price sensitive and they will take advantage of a deal if they find one.
Giving a product a second life instead of sending it off to be recycled. Dan Shinneman, NBC News.
17 News is your local election headquarters. The U.S. Senate is set to hold a final vote today to confirm Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. Here's a live look at the Senate floor this morning. Democrats holding an all-night session ahead of today's vote, debating yesterday's vote regarding Barrett. Senate Republicans voted overwhelmingly 51-48 to advance Judge Barrett to the final confirmation vote, despite Democrats' objections that the nominee should be chosen by the winner of this year's presidential election. The 30 hours of Senate debate that followed the vote expires at 4:30 p.m. our time, and then the final vote is expected to begin. It's a fight to finish this week in the race for the White House, the last full week for President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden to sway voters. Tracy Potts has a look ahead, plus the latest on a new coronavirus cluster surrounding Vice President Pence.
Hi, Maddie. Good morning, everyone. The vice president is fine, the White House says, and remains negative with an aggressive campaign schedule. President Trump, too, he's hitting 3 different spots in Pennsylvania today as both he and Joe Biden close in on the final days of this campaign. Final arguments.
Biden is the shutdown candidate.
The last big push.
What's up, Detroit?
Both presidential campaigns spending this last full week focusing on swing states.
When Donald Trump wins Florida big on election night, it's going to set the path for the rest of the night.
Democrats hoping to take back the Midwest.
It's such an uphill fight, but we're going to win it.
Driving voter turnout.
Why are so many powerful people trying to suppress our vote, trying to confuse us about voting, messing with the post office?
President Trump weighing his chances by crowds, not polls.
It's like a poll, right? Except much more accurate.
Both campaigns kicking off the week with 60 Minutes interviews where President Trump walked out on Leslie Stahl.
That's enough. Let's go. Let's go.
And Joe Biden defended his tax plan.
And you think it's a good idea to raise taxes when the economy is in dire straits?
Depending who you're raising them on.
Decision 2020 nearing an end with indecision still in Washington on money to deal with the coronavirus economy.
And we'll have some answers on Monday.
5 people close to Vice President Pence have tested positive, including his chief of staff. But the White House says Pence, who's negative, won't quarantine because he's an essential worker. And that's with new cases rising in at least 41 states. I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
Here at home, a convoy of President Trump supporters rolled through town. This is the Trump train. The long train of cars started in Fresno and came to Bakersfield to rally more Trump supporters, arriving Saturday at Era Park. Cars drove in decorated with Trump flags and window paint.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump's going to win California, and all these polls are wrong. They think they're going to win and all that, but Trump's going to win by landslide.
The cars lined along Jouett Avenue and slowly packed into the parking lot behind Era Park. While wrapping up the rally, one speaker encouraged drivers to run red lights as the convoy traveled through town. There were later reports that several drivers ran lights along Rosedale Highway.
5:35 is your time now, and now to the contentious races for local school boards, with 4 of 5 seats up for re-election. Bakersfield City School District is the largest K-8 non-unified school district in the state. It serves over 30,000 elementary and middle school students across 44 different campuses. Area 3 holds 11 of those campuses. Incumbent Ralph Anthony has represented Area 3 on the school board for the past 2 years. He also served 2 terms in 1992 and 94. Anthony is an assistant pastor and has done a lot of community work in support of equality. He joined the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People in the 60s at the height of the Civil Rights Movement.
We were rudely interrupted by COVID-19. And when I start a project, I like to try to see it through. So I'm just trying to finish up the work that we as a board team was doing.
Challenging him is Chris Cruz Boone. She's a mother of 2 and has been a teacher in Bakersfield for the past 15 years. Cruz Boone is the only candidate who's been endorsed by both BCSD staff and teachers. She has a doctorate in education and has authored multiple publications on distance learning.
I'm excited about running during the pandemic because I think we have an opportunity to transform the district. I think that instead of focusing on things like attendance numbers and standardized testing, we can actually talk about how to serve our communities better.
And lots of competition for Area 5, the largest area of the district, with 4 candidates in the running. Area 5 includes 7 of the district's 44 campuses. There are 4 candidates running to represent this part of the Bakersfield City School District. One is Shannon Zimmerman. She worked as a teacher and a tech coordinator at Pond School in Wasco for 15 years. Up against her is Bethany Bachman. She's a full-time mom and spends most of her free time volunteering for the Bakersfield City School District. The third candidate is Brooke Mallialt. She graduated from CSUB with a master's in school counseling and has a career in education that started in 2009. And Ian Journey's also running. Journey's a volunteer with CASA of Kern County, advocating for abused and neglected children in court. That's a cursory glance at your options. For an in-depth look at the BCSD candidates, visit kget.com.
As mail-in ballots continue to trickle in from Kern County voters, for the first time, we're getting a look at how those votes break down by political party. 17's Aton Wallace has details.
It's no secret Kern is a red county, but of those who have voted so far, Democrats have the higher turnout. It's been nearly 3 weeks since Kern County voters first received their ballots in the mail, and now they're filling them out and sending them in. As of Friday, 92,937 people in the Golden Empire have returned their ballots, accounting for roughly 22% of Kern registered voters. Of the returns, just over 40% are from Democrats, 36.8% from Republicans, and 22.2% from no party preference or other voters. The figures come from Political Data Inc., a bipartisan voter data company in California. The company receives raw voting data on a daily basis from every California county. Political Data Inc. matches the data with their own voter ID files and cross-matches them with county assessor files to ensure accuracy.
A 21st Congressional District debate.
In the race for the 21st Congressional District, where incumbent Democratic Congressman T.J. Cox is facing a challenge from Republican former Congressman David Valadao, figures show of the 55,424 returned ballots, 48.2% have been sent in by Democrats, another 30.8% from Republicans, and 21.2% from no party preference or other voters. Looking at demographics in the Hispanic majority district, ballots returned from Latinos outnumbered all other ethnic groups in the 21st. And in the race for the Republican majority 23rd Congressional District between incumbent Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy and Democratic challenger Kim Mangon, of the roughly 92,000 ballots cast so far, it's nearly tied between Republicans and Democrats. GOP voters have sent in 36,304 ballots, while Democrats sent in 35,639. Another 20,440 are from no party preference or other voters. Now, it is important to note in all of these races, only about a quarter of registered voters have voted so far, so these numbers are all but guaranteed to change. Nonetheless, it gives us a good look at who's turning out and how races could shape up come Election Day. In studio, Aton Wallace, 17 News.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.